Hello and good day. Today I'm going to be talking about creativity. Not so much as broadly as that, but rather creativity during a time where many found it hard to be creative. A time where many of us were isolated at home for the benefit of our health and the health of others. This is creation in isolation. In March 2020, Scotland and the rest of the UK went into lockdown following the rapid increasing threat of the coronavirus pandemic that swept the nation. Events stopped, businesses closed, and people were told to self-isolate while emergency services and key businesses selling what could be described as essential goods were to remain open. Everything had changed so quickly. With a pandemic this lethal, many productions were halted, including productions within the creative sector, such as TV shows, films, theatre, and music gigs. With no new entertainment to look forward to, and a wealth of free time at their disposal, the masses turned to streaming applications with the like of Netflix, Now TV, Amazon Prime, and more. Others found their own way to focus their minds and stay entertained, like discovering old hobbies, or even taking up new ones, or joining many others in making quick videos with the rising popularity of the mobile app TikTok. Never before had the arts become so relied upon. The coronavirus pandemic of 2020 didn't affect myself drastically. I didn't go out very much as it was, only ever visiting two of my oldest friends who live close by, my partner in Bannockburn, making the odd trip to Sunnyworld in Falkirk, and going to work. When everything closed and we all went into lockdown, it became a very basic routine of work and a weekly trip to Asda for the essentials. Life became pretty mundane, but I managed to keep myself going through a variety of hobbies that allowed me to switch my brain off and avoid focusing on the current predicament of which we were facing. Lego is both a toy and a hobby for anyone of any age, and an ideal way to pass the time in any situation. A great tool for getting the creative juices flowing, as well as improving hand-eye coordination. Your creations are limited by the PCs you own, but I prefer to just follow the instructions myself and put together a little Lego city area full of mechs and monsters. Cosplay is another hobby of mine. Before the pandemic stopped live events and entertainment, I'd attend a good handful of comic conventions around Scotland. Over the years, I've done a variety of costumes, but in the last couple of years, I've taken a preference to Power Rangers costumes. Being a show I've watched on and off since I was about 3 or 4 years old, it's stayed a part of my life and carried over into my cosplaying hobby. That hobby expanded when I decided to put the helmets together myself. During the pandemic, I've gotten into commissioning helmets to be 3D printed. I then take the raw 3D printed helmet and use a mix of sanding and polyfiller till the surface is smooth, then apply the necessary paint. After all is said and done, I use transparent sheets with a layer of dark window tint for the visor and use a heat gun to shape it. I then glue it inside the helmet and add straps to hold both sides together. From there, I can either use magnets or clips to hold both ends together for wearing. Currently, I've used both once, and I'm still figuring out which is the best for me. With each helmet, I learn more, and is something I personally aim to keep up post-lockdown and hopefully improve as I gradually aim to be more ambitious with this hobby. Lastly, I've also been spending a lot more time than I normally do on video games. I've been gaming regularly for years now, but with the mundane lifestyle that came with lockdown and isolation, it's a great way to switch my brain off and even lose myself for a few hours. Obviously, that's dependent on the game. It's also been a great way for me and my partner to spend time together during the lockdown with the likes of Fallout 76 and Borderlands 3, both offering a cooperative experience that gives us an opportunity to bond while catching up through our microphone headsets. Think of it like a fun phone call. When the coronavirus pandemic passes and businesses begin to open their doors once more, I look forward to being able to visit the cinema and go back to seeing films the way they were intended to be viewed.
My hobby, is Warhammer 40,000.
I started doing sublimation on mugs.
I started crocheting, which I never thought I would actually get to do.
I first started it when I was about I have a long, complicated relationship with this hobby because I must have, the first ever introduction I had to it must have been when I was very, very young, maybe like 5 or 6.
I started that maybe about October, November 2020 because I just needed something different to do because we were obviously starting another lockdown. I'm just like, I need something new, something colourful to keep me distracted.
In about maybe mid-June, July maybe. But I'd already bought the equipment in January in 2020, which I didn't actually get around to using because life.
Definitely. I've got that many projects that I found on Pinterest that I'm just like, oh, I must do this.
I'm gonna continue to make more stuff and new designs. I've already got some new designs that I'm currently working on, so I'm still pushing that.
I'm now invested enough in this that I'm at a point where I don't need to spend any more money, but if I wanted to, I could start another army. So I will certainly keep playing, but whether I keep collecting will depend on what other hobbies start draining on my bank account.
It's hard to give a say. I probably spend maybe about 2 hours a week maybe on this hobby. Maybe a wee bit less. But it varies.
So I don't spend that much time on it at the moment. I still would say probably 3 or 4 hours at the moment.
I try and do maybe 1 or 2 hours after work because I work from home and I need to do it to kind of click off. So I'll put on an audiobook or a film for background noise while I'm doing the hooking of the wool, and it just distracts me. So a couple of hours a day. Well, after lockdown, it could take a while for things like that to get back to normal, but I think they could thrive because we need creativity and we need the creative industries like theatre and film. We need all these kind of things. I mean, I think it'll shoot back up after the lockdown, or even they might try as things are getting back to normal. We just never know.
I think it'll thrive more after lockdown. Because you'll have events like markets and workshops, and you'll have different events like galleries and stuff, and like you've also got your theatres, you've got your other creative outlooks. So I think that industry is going to boom once lockdown reopens, because it's all the things that we've been lacking for the past year. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom, you know, they're back.
With lockdown finally coming to an end, industries and shops are beginning to open their doors once more. As long as people have the will and the inspiration, creativity will continue to thrive under any condition. It's been a unique journey adapting to a worldwide pandemic, but hopefully we can move forward and never repeat it. Thank you for watching.